Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the season review for Eric Ten Hag. Season 22-23 is over. All the games for all the tournaments are over, so we're just going to do a quick recap on how the season went. What we did well, what we could do better, player of the season, and possibly like flop of the season as well. We're also going to go over and talk about some of the transfer rumors and transfer news as well. So let's get started. This season, initially it was really difficult. We did start with two defeats back to back. The first defeat was home against Brighton, and that was the only defeat that Eric Ten Hag had in the Premier League at home. So that's a really good achievement for Mr. Eric. And then the second loss was against Brentford, the 4-0, where, De Gea had a stinker. Martinez was also subbed off at halftime. There was a couple of passes that David De Gea made, one to Ericsson, and it was a big mistake. And it looked like everything is going to go really bad. And then um, till that point, none of us thought that we're gonna have a season that we had. Obviously, we finished third with 75 points. We did win the Carabao Cup, finishing our 6 years uh, trophy drought. So that's really a good achievement. Even though it's a smaller cup, and we're hoping that next season we go for a bigger prizes like FA Cup and Premier Leagues. So it's still a good achievement. It's like a monkey off the back, like was really criticized for not winning any trophies, and Ten Hag won the first trophy that was available to him. So it was really a good achievement, I would say. And then after that, the we did also go to the final of the FA Cup. We couldn't get the job done in the final, and whatever. But it was a good, decent run from the boys for the FA Cup as well. We lost out on the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We lost against the team that won the whole tournament, Sevilla. Sevilla are really good, and I don't want to use the word luck, but there's something. There is a heritage, something, the force of the nature, whatever, uh, somehow, some way they end up winning that tournament. There are memes going on saying that they don't even care about the Champions League this season. They're going to intentionally finish third so that they can get in the Europa League again and then win it again. So we got knocked out from against Sevilla. But that game also, like, we were supposed to, like, we were clear favorites before, you know, some injuries and some real bad luck as well. We were leading two goals, and then Ten Hag made some substitutions a bit early. That resulted us on not only losing, like not only losing that lead, but away from home they beat us 3-0. So we got knocked out comprehensively. Even though first part of the first leg, Sabitzer scored two goals, and then it was looking like a formality that we are going in the semifinals. But that's football, I guess. But yeah, that's how we did in the Europa League. And then I just wanted to add something. So I, I'm happy with the season. To be honest, the standards are a bit lower these years, but in the start of the season, no one thought that we would be finishing in the top four. Even I thought we'd be probably finishing fifth. I didn't know that Casemiro would be signing as well. His transfer came out of nowhere, and then it was Eric Ten Hag's first season, the first two losses in the Premier League, and then also the head of the team, like the mentality of some of those players last season. You talk about Rashford, had stinker last season, but scored 30 goals this season. So big improvements for him. I wasn't expecting a lot from Wan Bissaka. The likes of Luke Shaw, he came through as well. So there were a lot of really good performances, some clever signings from Eric Ten Hag as well, with Malasia coming on like really cheap, and it was a really good backup left back when we had Luke Shaw missing, or if he had to play in the center back. So that was a really good signing. And then Ericsson as well coming on for free. I know like some people have started criticizing him already for the performance that he showed later in the season, but honestly, he had a really bad injury, missed out for a lot of months, and I feel like he can still do a good job in our midfield. I rate him really high. He had a lot of, I think he was the highest assister or maybe second highest assist in the season, despite being injured for months. And the only reason he wasn't at his best at the later part of the season was probably because he just came back from an injury, maybe rushed in too soon. So that could be a reason. Um, but yeah, happy with the season. We finished third with 75 points. If I look at the table here really quick, so for the Premier League, it was really good to be finishing not only top four but top three. And then I hope next season, like Eric said, we should be pushing for the top two positions. We finished 9 points behind the second team, Arsenal, who had a really good season. Banter aside, I think they were the surprise of the season, them and us, quite frankly. But they had an unbelievable start with, I think they had 50 points in 18 or 19 games, which was a record, and no team had not won a Premier League for that many points. So they had a good season, and then City, of course, 89 points, finishing 14 points. Uh, there was a point in the season where it looked like they won't lose a game. They were winning every game. I think they had like a really good winning. Uh, I think they drew or lost. No, they lost against Brentford, but before that, they were winning every game, including Arsenal. That they beat them home and away. So whatever. And then the fourth position was Newcastle, 71 points. So happy that we and then fifth place was Liverpool with 67 points. So happy that we were comfortably in the top four. We were in the top four with I think with a game to spare. And then we finished third, 4 points ahead of Newcastle as well. So really really good work, league wise. I say that also because at the start of the season, the all the pundits, all the fans, everyone had Man United fifth or sixth. No one expected us to be finishing on the top four. So credit to Mr. Eric Ten Hag for bringing some, much needed respect to the club. I think winning the Carabao Cup also is a really nice achievement. Like I said, it's not the biggest achievement in football, but we were there was a point where we hadn't won a trophy for 6 years. The last trophy was Jose Mourinho's 2007, 17 Europa League. So we had like dark years. So at least we're out of that. Next season, hopefully, Carabao Cup. I know Eric Ten Hag. I would say, okay, let's play the youth, yeah, in that tournament, but he's not going to do that. He's going to go for all four trophies. That's the man he is, and I respect that. But next season, I'd be. I want to like. Why won't you not want to win a cup? So I want to you win the Carabao Cup, but I also want more. I'd like us to be finishing in the top two in the Premier League. I'd like us to do well in the Champions League. I know we're very far behind. Even thinking about winning the Champions League. But I'd like to see like with a proper striker like Harry Kane, or not or like and Harry Kane and a good keeper. a few signings here and there, we could. I'd like to see us like do really well, quarterfinal, semifinal, and then win the FA Cup. So those are some of the goals that I hope the team is setting. Top three is nice, but I'd like us to do even more this season. So coming back to the flop players. So there were some players that didn't do well. Really disappointing. I like some of these guys. I actually back all the players except, well, not except like when they're in the pitch, when they're uh, representing Man United, I would back them no matter what. But there are some players that was disappointing. Start with number one. I would say Weghorst. We signed him from loan from Burnley. He what how do define this player? A striker who can't score a goal. That's Weghorst for you. He had I remember even the last game against Fulham, he had an open goal and he missed. There were times when the teammates were not passing the ball to him because they were not sure that he's going to do anything. At the end of the season, he scored two goals. One was in the Carabao Cup, and then one goal in the Premier League. Imagine scoring one goal in the Premier League as a striker, as a number nine. That's ridiculous. He doesn't have a lot of pace. His finishing is bad. For someone who's 6'6", his heading abilities was shocking. And the only goal that he scored, like it was like a, I'm not gonna say tap in, but like he slides and then scores a goal. So whatever. Good riddance. We needed a body to play up top with Ronaldo leaving, so we signed him. Um, I hope he's gone now. His contract is over. I cannot see him. I can't see the club, re-signing him or giving him any kind of deals. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So like he was, I would say the flop of the season. There were some other names as well. Harry Maguire should be the captain of the team, should be leading by example. But before Ten Hag brought in, like before Martinez and Varane, started playing every game. He did get a chance, and he couldn't do anything about it. We lost a couple of games with him. Whenever he's in the pitch, every fan this there's suddenly an anxiety in the team. Suddenly everyone's like nervous. Everyone's like, oh no, he's gonna make a mistake. He's gonna cost us a game. Uh, he doesn't have the speed required to play for Man United. So coming forward, in he might even be leaving the club soon. Hopefully next season he won't be playing, but it's his decision at the end of the day. But I feel like he, as with Weghorst, was also a flop. Um, Number three, I'm not ranking them anyway, but whatever. Number three, one of my favorite players. I had high hopes for him, Mr. Anthony Martial. Uh, Injuries like the preseason that he had, very promising. He is an Eric Ten Hag player. The way he plays, the way he links up with the other forwards and the midfield. His finishing is fast as well. We so he is a good player. He's a Ten Hag player. One of my favorite players since he signed as well. But this season the injuries were shocking. He also missed the FA Cup final, so we could not rely on Martial this season. He was scoring a goal or giving an assist every like 60 minutes, 70 minutes that he played. But after some regular time, that stopped as well. I really hope the best for Martial, but I don't think moving forward we should be keeping him. I'd like the club to actually sell him and get like couple of strikers instead of just one. So yeah, it was a really bad season for Martial as well. Um, and then I would say David De Gea, really bad season for him as well. Uh, Despite winning the Golden Glove, which like basically we all know, like stats can be deceiving. I would say the defense and the the CDM that he had in front of him were the main reason why we kept so many clean sheets, but there were a lot of individual errors. You talk about the Sevilla game, you talk about the Brentford game, the second goal against Man City in the FA Cup final, the West Ham, the mistake against West Ham. He also made a mistake against Everton in the third round of the FA Cup. So, and those were just the season, and those were just the goal that directly led to mistakes that directly led to a goal. But they were like, kicking. The distribution was really poor, and I really hope we do go for a new keeper next season going forward. So yeah, need improvement on that. So I want to talk about the best players, the players that I think had really good seasons, and then that they are the ones that saved us, and then they helped us reach top three and then win the Carabao Cup as well. So at number five, I would say Bruno Fernandes. People would say, "Oh, he didn't have the stat that he had the previous two seasons." He did say, he still made a lot of mistakes. He's this mistake, that mistake. He gives the ball, like he doesn't pass. He doesn't give the simple pass. He gives the ball away too many times. For me, uh, he was the captain. Like he had the armband when Maguire was not playing. And in my opinion, if we had Harry Kane or a proper striker, the chances that he created this season, he should have had a lot more assists. Stability wise as well, he calmed everyone down. Leader as well. I know like some people don't like, well, I think the rival fans obviously won't like a player, talking to referees so much. Like I wouldn't like Bruno if he was playing for the other team. I get that. That's his personality. But for me, like he plays for our club. He argues with the referee. And his ball playing is like really well, creates chances. And there are times in the season where when Bruno does play, we hardly make any chances. So for me, number five would be Bruno Fernandes. And then, so for number four, I'm gonna say Luke Shaw. Um, what a player, man! Seriously, what a player. I feel like he's very underrated. The crossing, I've noticed some of his set pieces, that the cross from his left foot, wow. And uh, the other thing is he had to play in his unnatural position as a center back. And some people were saying that he was as good or maybe even a little bit better than Martinez, which is a big compliment. So Luke Shaw definitely top four. Um, Him, Bruno, and one more guy that's going to come in number three. Those three have been consistent performers for 2 or 3 seasons. They're the reason why we still, even though we're bad, but we're not, like Chelsea that finished in mid-table. You know what I mean? So Luke Shaw, one of my favorite players. I hope he signs a new contract. I love him at left back, left center back, and hope he stays fit, and then hope he plays a long season next season as well, and hope he keeps up the form. So for number three, it's going to be Mr. Marcus Rashford. Had a terrible season last time around, but this season turned it around. Mr. 30 goals, Mr. MBE. So there's a stat saying that no one scored, like the last person to score 30 goals for Manchester United in a season was Robin Van Persie in 2012, 2013. That's a long time back. And scoring 30 goals is no joke. He also scored one of the goals in the final in the Carabao Cup, one of the most important games of the season. I can't deny, like you can't deny how impactful he's been. His goals literally changed the game. Whenever we have a slow game, slow start, bam, Rashford scores, and then the pressure is off the team. So, Mr. Marcus Rashford, hats off to you. There were times last season that I had my doubts on him, but this season, amazing, amazing. He also won the Player of the Season, and then the the players player of the season as well. He could be even higher, but the impact that the rest of the guys, number one and number two, did had I think edges a little bit, but it's just an opinion. But Rashford, amazing season. Hopefully he scored 30 goals this season. Hopefully next season he can score 40 goals. All the best, and my best wishes to Marcus Rashford. Number two is gonna be, I would say, Casemiro. So you know, I think for 2 or 3 seasons, Manchester United were so you know tired and frustrated with the midfield that we had. Fred and McTominay, two people doing one person's job. Uh, you know, can't pass the ball, can't defend. But then he signs for us after like we lose 2 games. He says, "I'm gonna come there and I'm gonna fix this." And what did he do? He fixed it. Surprisingly, he's been really good in front of goal as well. He's been scoring a lot of goals as well, which has been a bonus. The goal against Bournemouth that helped us get the top four. I think he scored against. Oh yeah, he scored in the final as well. So really, really important big game player. So very happy to have him in the team. So Casemiro is going to be number two, and then number one has to be the center back that we needed, the center back that we thought, yeah, he's not gonna do well in the Premier League. Oh, he's 5'9". He's this, yeah, this. What a player, man! What a player. I know, like Bruno is my favorite player, but like I have a couple of favorite players, but this man is Old Trafford's, like the connection that he has with the fans is amazing. There's a nice picture of him, like come on, with the fan. I'm gonna probably put that in the thumbnail. But that the way he defends, the way he puts his body on the line, he's a top player. Like I've seen defenders, come and go, but I haven't seen a defender as good as him. Very brave off the ball, plays with passion. And when he has the ball, the technical ability, like from the center back position to like forwards, when he plays in, it's like we have another player in the midfield with his passes as well. So top player. The reason why Mr. Maguire is also not in the squad is also because of this guy. Plays in, week out, every time gives a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, doesn't go below that. So Martinez is my player of the season. Comment your thoughts. Let me know who you believe should be the player of the season. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and all the good things. And yeah, so that's the review from me. I don't want to go over the transfer news too much on this episode. I'm gonna talk about the transfers next time, and then the takeover as well. It looks like Sir Jim and Qatar, the Sir Jim and the Sheikh Jassim, they both are. competing for basically who pays the most money to the Glazers. Ridiculous. You see every day on social media, new news coming in. Hopefully, a decision will be made by the Glazers this week. But it's something that we all just have to wait and watch. So not gonna dive into it this episode. Just want to talk to everyone about the season review. So yeah, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know, who's your like player of the season, your thoughts on Martinez, Casemiro. Let me know if you agree with some of the flops as well. There were some names that I didn't mention. Sancho. So let me know, and I'll talk to you on next one. Thanks.